Welcome to another installment of the Final Scoop Podcast. My name is Robbie Schinetsky. Joining me, as always, my Polish brother from another mother, Lukasz Rytkowski, Prometeus Intelligent Sports Technology. Thank you all for joining us, family and friends. If you got any comments, questions, queries, or quips, post them up in the comment section. We'll get to anything and everything over the course of our duration with you today. And happy June. This is the first Saturday of June that we're doing a recording, and I will not be in the same location next Saturday. I will be in New Orleans, but we'll still be doing it at the same time. It'll still be next Saturday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Polish time. So for everybody tuning in, let us know where you are, what you're doing, how your week was, and if you have seen the new Top Gun, because I've already seen it 3 times. It's phenomenal.
Already?
It's phenomenal. I went and saw it by myself, went and saw it with a friend, and then Sandy and I went and saw it with some teachers from her work. And I will go see it. If anybody wants to go see it and you're in the Austin, Texas area or New Orleans area next year or next week, give me a call. Send me an email. I'll be your wingman. So
I didn't
good.
see it. I didn't see it yet, but I was at the gym, and I had my headphones, and some guys were chatting about some film, and I didn't know which one. And one guy said some stuff about airplanes and so on, and I immediately thought about Top Gun.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, it's so incredible!" And he was like, "Yeah," he was blown away.
Yeah.
And he said that he already saw it twice because he went for the first time with his wife, and the second time he took his children with him.
Yeah.
And he's hooked, and he's now like promoting the film the heck out of it,
It's
the gym.
so good. And like I mentioned last week, I am a huge fan of the original. Like, it's one of my top 5 favorite personal movies ever. I will turn it on, watch it. I mean, I watched it twice before the new one, like in preparation for the new one. I watched it twice on its own. And so this one, I had heard a lot of good things. It delivers. Like, this is how you can tell the people that made the movie actually care about the original movie. They care about these characters. They're not going to like shove Maverick off to the side and say, "Oh, he's the old fart. We're going to bring up some new young hot girl and put Maverick in his place and tell him he's this womanizing Lothario that should feel bad for what he did." None of that shit. Like, he is still the best of the best. Kicks everybody's ass. It is so good. I mean, it's fantastic. It is an absolute. Everybody go see it. It's awesome. I wish this is what the new Star Wars movies would have been, and they didn't neuter Luke Skywalker and betray the awesomeness that was Han Solo and Leia and all in this new trilogy, because they totally shit on Star Wars. The new Top Gun is everything that Star Wars should have been. It is that good.
You know what? I had this question going on. Would you like to see like a series on the Netflix or somewhere in the like a streaming platform, like a Top Gun series, those kinds of things?
No, I think it's good for just the movie, because I've seen how some of these things, and granted, a lot of this is the way Disney has taken Star Wars and all the Marvel stuff and the little series they've done. They're all garbage. It's just content for content's sake. There is not deep thought into this. It's just, hey, it's kind of like people that put up a YouTube video every day. It's here's some more drivel for you to watch. There's not really that thought, attention, and care that goes into what this huge buildup over 36 years between the original Top Gun and the sequel that we got now. So yeah, no, I don't want to see a series of it. I don't need to see the backstory of Maverick's childhood or his grandkids or anything. Like, just please leave it stand for what it is. We had an awesome original movie. We had an awesome sequel. Don't ever touch this franchise ever again. Leave it alone. You struck gold twice. Don't fuck with fate again. Just leave it. But I might do an official. I've never done a movie review before, but I feel strongly enough about this movie, and I'm nerdy enough about it, and I just love like military aircraft so much that I might just like get on the phone. Like, my brother is the same way as this. Like him and I just might hop on and just do like a 15-minute rant about how awesome this is once he sees it. So
yeah, Philip already also watched the movie.
He has not yet. He's been in town with my dad since my dad had surgery on Tuesday, so he's been down there with my mom and sister, and we'll be going down there. We're leaving Tuesday night of this week to head down there, so he's hopefully going to see it today, because he's heading back home to Alabama with his wife, where his wife and kids are, tomorrow, because he's got work on Monday.
Oh yeah, by the way, everything went good with the surgery?
Yes, the surgery went well. He went in at like 7 o'clock this past Tuesday morning. for all the pre-op stuff. 9 o'clock, he went under. My mom called me at 11:30 saying, "Hey, everything's good." He went through. The doctors feel really good. They just had to do one bypass. There was a chance they might have had to do a couple more, but they said everything else is doing really well. Surgery's well. He's obviously sore as shit now because they, had to slice him open. They had to crack the rib cage open. Hey, Robbie.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
They had to crack his rib cage open, do all that fun stuff with the bone saw, and they went and operated and did all the bypass stuff. Sewed him back up. And apparently, they don't use stitches. They use like meat glue to put your skin back together after open heart, which I found the weirdest kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But they did that. So he was in ICU the first day and a half, and now he's in his regular patient room, and they're thinking he'll be discharged. His kidneys got a little wonky yesterday, but he will be hopefully heading out, looks like Monday now, once his blood sugar levels and kidneys stabilize with everything. So yeah, the man with the plan. I thought weren't you going to be wasn't there an expo or something this weekend, Robbie? Or
next weekend.
Next weekend. Okay, I thought that's what you had this. I thought there was a thing this week for it.
Or there bashing nuts, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
He's back.
Not bash.
What is a nut bash?
It's kind of a like expo get together industry people that is organized by Nutrition Corners.
Okay, Doug Miller's.
Yeah. It's not really a core event. I think it's Nutrition Corners event where they have like everybody flying from all over. It's going to be Jay Cutler. I think everybody's going to be there. Mark Lobliner, Mark Glazier, Fitness Informant. That's from what I saw. Like there's going to be a bunch of people. So it's a pretty big event. I mean, we were invited last year, but I think they canceled.
Okay, yeah, because I thought, what was I going to say? So it's kind of like the Aries Nutrition event or the block party that they have or whatever?
Yeah, but this one I think is obviously older. I think this has been going on for a few years now.
Okay.
And I think it's a lot bigger. A lot bigger. I mean, you have it's a massive event.
Is it, do you think, I guess we can make this a segue we'll get off, or actually, have you seen Top Gun yet?
I just watched it last night, and it was funny, actually. Dr. Hector Lopez was in the movie theater with me.
Fantastic.
That was pretty funny. We were leaving the theater, and he gave me a hug. It was we chatted for a few minutes. Great guy. I really like him. The movie itself, I mean, honestly, this might surprise a lot of people, but I was never like a fanatic of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought it was like as great masterpiece as everybody thought.
Yeah.
I thought the soundtrack was great. I thought the performances were great. I mean, it's a great movie, but just wasn't for me like all that.
Yeah.
I think that this is one of those maybe rare occasions, like really rare, where the sequel is better than the original.
I've heard a lot of people say that. I love like I was telling Lucas before you jumped in, like the original Top Gun is one of my 5 like favorite movies of all time. I'm not saying it's like Citizen Kane, Godfather worthy or anything.
Yeah, no, but I can see it. I mean, for what it's worth, it's a great movie. I always liked it. I mean, liked it a lot. It's among the very best ones, and I could always recognize the I guess the masterpiece that it is, especially considering how it was released. But this one is it just kind of solidified Tom Cruise, I think, as this major mega star. And again, I'm not even a Tom Cruise diehard fan. I admire him, I like him, but he's not like my idol or anything like that. But when you look at him, I mean, the guy is like 5'5" or 5'6" tall. And the charisma and the persona and the aura that he carries himself, I mean, he's bigger than life. And at 59, to look the way he looks, a lot of people said, "Oh, plastic surgery and this," and it doesn't matter. The guy's in great shape. You have to admire that. Obviously, it requires a lot of work. I mean, there is a sequence in the movie where he plays ball with a bunch of youngsters, young enough to be his children, and he plays ball with them. And to be honest with you, you won't be able to tell the difference where it's like an older body and a younger body. He gives them a run for their money. His presence is astonishing. There are no like those special effects where everything is cartoonish. These are actually the real planes, and they flying them, and I mean, it's the real deal. I thought I thought it was unbelievable. I mean, I saw actually when we got up and we were leaving the theater, at least 3 or 4 men were crying, like they got so emotional.
There's some
And
heart tugging moments in the movie. There
you,
definitely are.
it's great, and the way they fucking tied the second one, I highly recommend everybody who even watched the first one watch it again just before you watch the second one,
Yeah.
because the way they tied it together is just unbelievable. Whoever wrote the script, I have to look it up, is a genius. It's a great fucking movie. I mean, I hope they're doing a third one because I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, the guy that was, I don't know how much of it he did, but I think he's kind of got like the main headline credit of it. He's the one that wrote the last Mission Impossible movie too, and he's the one writing the next 2 Mission Impossible movies. So him and Cruise have got like some special
Well,
sauce going on.
that's the interesting part because Top Gun, I mean the sequel Maverick smashed all the fucking records, and
Yeah.
they're not even considering as of yet to do a sequel, which is very strange, considering they killing it at the box office. And I'll tell you this without giving any details: Val Kilmer. I mean, considering his condition and everything he's been through,
Yeah.
he's phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a big part in the movie, but he does have a part in the movie, and it's very substantial. I mean, just wow. I would go as far as saying this is like supporting actor Oscar nomination deserves. That good.
Yeah, it just, I mean, you could tell, and I just told Lucas this, the people that wrote this movie, you could tell they have a genuine care for the
Absolutely.
story, the property, what these characters are, and they did, justice and honor to those characters that I haven't seen in one of these like retread Hollywood sequels where they try to rip off an intellectual property from the 80s or 90s and redo it today. I haven't seen that at all, and this is nice to see. Like, this is how all those other sequels should have been done.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that, like I said, it surprised me when I heard about Top Gun sequel like years ago when they started working on it. I was like, oh, please don't,
Yeah.
because the original is just so fucking good, despite the fact it's not maybe my top 5 movie, but it's just that good.
Yeah.
And the sequel just made it justice. I mean, again, I'm gonna go and say I think it actually better than the first one. The first one will always have that originality. Always. I mean, you can't fucking beat that. It's like some people argue whether the first Rocky or the second Rocky, which one is better. I can see the argument in it. Obviously, I have my favorite, but I could see the argument in it. But you can't beat the originality, the original concept. I mean, there is a reason why sequels exist in the first place. It's because the first one was that good that
Right.
people wanted to see a sequel.
Yeah.
So I think that's what this one just does it justice. I mean, all the actors, everybody was on top of the game. I'm actually considering watching it second time. That's how good it was.
Yeah, they nailed casting. There was no preachiness, no
Nope.
politicization, or
That's
social
another thing.
pandering or something. It was
Absolutely.
so nice.
You know what it reminded me a little bit? It reminded me a little bit of 9/11. It
Mhm.
reminded me because, I mean, this is a type of movie where you sit in a theater and you know how divided the nation right now is.
Yeah.
Whether it's political, Republicans, Democrats, guns, no guns. I mean, it's fucking nuts. You have a feeling when you sit in a theater watching this particular movie that this is something where the entire audience is together. I mean, I know it sounds a little bit like a cliche, maybe, or too poetic, but I'm telling you, this is something. It's like a supplement industry where we would say, and everybody would say, Ghost is the best brand ever existed. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. What I'm saying, but that's like, imagine Lukasz fucking in a ghost outfit, fucking jumping up and down and saying, Ghost is the brand of the century, not a decade. That would be something. I would love to see it actually. Maybe on Halloween, Lukasz, it's a special request you wear your ghost outfit.
It's fitting.
100th
I mean,
episode.
ghosts and Halloween, they go together. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
100th episode.
There you go. Devin, the king has returned. Welcome back, Robbie. Thank you for your humanitarian efforts. Yes, you had a 2+ week journey to Ukraine. Intense. You had Can we reveal some of the details about what we're
Yeah.
like? You had an armed patrol around you that you were with.
So the thought of it came probably like I would say maybe a month after the invasion, where it
Yeah.
kind of like would not kind of just came to me that I feel like whatever everybody is doing, whatever I'm doing is just not enough, and I felt like this guilt. And I actually reached out to a friend of mine who is a pastor. He's a priest in Ukraine. He's my childhood friend, and I said I feel like I should be there with you, with my classmates and my friends and everybody. And he goes, you guys have been helping so much that maybe you're better off being where you are. You can help as much. And then seeing so many false reports about what's going on, and obviously everybody has either an agenda or an opinion without actually understanding what they're talking about.
Can
uh,
you discuss that a little bit more? Because
yeah
there's been lots of mis or disinformation, however you want to think about it,
no
either
no
from like the
it's
state-controlled
fine.
media of Russia. So how much of what we're actually seeing here is
It's
true?
I'll tell you what, even the supplement industry actually influenced my decision,
Hmm.
believe it or not. And Chris says that I'm gonna kick ass. I mean, it's not my intention, but fucking somehow it happens every time. Because I'm gonna have to throw some people under the bus, and um I think rightfully so. So a few things that did influence my decision on a personal level. My real dad. Well, I'm saying my real dad is because somebody who participated in my creation but never participated in my life. So I have no connection to the person whatsoever. But he did send me a message saying basically "fuck Ukraine" and they deserve what they're getting. That I don't talk to him. He just sends me messages on Instagram for some. Oh, not on Instagram, on Facebook on a daily basis, some crap that I don't respond to. So when he sent that, that really pissed me off. It kind of like, deep inside of me, it ignited something that I was like, well, I always wanted to be nothing like you. So fuck you, basically. I'm going to do the exact opposite and I'm going to go and help. I know it's childish, but I mean, I guess you can understand from a psychological more point of view. If somebody told me, I would say, come on, you don't have to prove anything at 47. That's just dumb. But to me, that really pissed me off. In the supplement industry, Mark Lobliner posted a joke about it. And when you interact with people, I already said it before, he made a joke out of it that the conflict can be resolved by Rocky Balboa fighting Drago. I understand you're trying to be cute and funny, but there is a time and place, and when you don't know what you're talking about, you don't. Because on the other hand, people from the industry that I do interact, like Lukasz and Polish people in general, they're Ukrainian neighbors, and they know exactly what's going on. I mean, Lukasz has a pretty solid sense of humor, and we can goof around about a lot of things, but I don't think he would joke about this subject because it's just off limits. This is not a subject you joke about. So that then seeing certain people completely like not helping whatsoever, not even trying to help or acknowledge, because we have a platform ourselves. This podcast is a platform. Maybe it's a smaller platform, but it's still a platform. We all can do something by saying or doing. A little contribution helps. Nobody, a good friend of mine said to me something like, Rob, I cannot give you money. I cannot give money towards Ukraine, but I can do this. And I told him, I said, it's not about money. It's about this. Very few people know. And Robert, thank you so much. Carolina told me, but Robert actually, no, fuck you. Robert actually decided against taking his salary from Apollon Nutrition and contributed to the Ukrainian people. So that is something that's very admirable. And like I said, he never asked, but when I was told, I was literally, so did Joe Volgi, who helps us out. And like I said, that means a lot. That means a lot. You don't have to do a lot, not even money. But if you say something to you against the war or you contribute somehow, that means a lot. Then as much as I hate saying it, but somebody sent me a message and actually a link to Chris Waldron being dead against the United States, helping Ukrainians with weapons and in a fight against, Russia. And uh, obviously, it didn't sit well with me. I just don't think it's the right thing to do because what you don't understand, what some people don't understand, and I said it before, this is not a Ukrainian fight. This is a global fight against imperialism, against a communist country wannabe, or a fascist country, that is invading other countries, that wants to have world domination. This is somebody who is pointing fucking rockets at United States as we speak. And when shit hits the fan and the fucker is really against the wall, you don't know what he's gonna do. So President of Ukraine he says, don't send us troops, just help us with weapons. We'll fight them. And they've been doing. I mean, it's a smaller country. I watched somebody who is a Russian film director or somebody saying, oh, Ukraine doesn't count, they should not even have a voice because they're a small country and they're American puppets. No, they don't. They're not American puppets. It's just a country that wants to be free, and they deserve it. And when you see all they asking is just for help with weapons and help, just to help fight against somebody who wants to take over the world. Obviously, I can't and won't agree with it. And I think certain people should not say anything and should just keep quiet, because when you don't know about something, you just don't say it, because you can look very, very dumb, or even more so, probably just dumb. Not a very smart thing to do. And I made a personal decision because I wanted to go and see with my own eyes. Not that I needed a proof. I already knew what's going on. Lukasz lives very, very close. He doesn't need to go to Ukraine. He knows exactly what's going on. Polish people are very, very familiar with what Russians are capable of. So we don't need proof. I wanted to go and just help, and I wanted to go and probably convey the message to those that maybe, if there is somebody who is on the fence and not sure what's going on, which I can believe, then maybe if that person trusts me and knows that I'm no bullshit kind of person and I will tell the truth, then maybe I'll be able to convince at least few people, like, listen, this is what I see with my own eyes. I'm on a on a playground, and there are mines all over. I see burned buildings and burned children and dead innocent civilians, and there are cases of rape and looting and destruction of a country. And the things that I've seen, I wish that I would never see, and I would never wish on anyone to see. On the other hand, it's ironic, but I'm glad I did go, and I'm glad I did see what I saw. And again, it's not about proof. It's just about doing the right thing. I'm not saying everybody should be doing it. It was just the right thing. It was a personal decision. I even said it before I left. It was a personal decision to go, and I would go again in a heartbeat.
Is the information we're getting stateside an accurate representation of what's actually going out there? Is there a spin on it one way or the other? Or is it pretty authentic what's actually happening on the ground, at least from what you were exposed to?
To be perfectly honest, I mean, obviously, United States is biased. I mean, it is. Yeah. They are correct in terms of like the information that you see even on CNN, from what I saw, at least a little bits and pieces, because typically I don't watch, and what you see on social media and what you see on on Fox, it's pretty accurate in terms of what's going on, that there is a war. Mm-hmm. But clearly, if some people don't believe the American media, rightfully so, because obviously United States and Soviet Union, or United States and current Russia, they were in a Cold War for a very, very long time. So let's just be honest, they don't like each other. You're not going to hear Russians saying anything nice about United States at the moment, or the Russian, government-controlled media. So it's understandable. But in terms of when you see footages and you see, burned cities, and you see dead people, and you see destruction of property, all that is true. I mean, that's exactly what's happening. In fact, the Russian propaganda, or those that are supporting Putin, are saying, no, Ukrainians are doing them themselves. They're trying to make you believe it's fake news. Yeah, I mean, from a common sense perspective, and that's all I'm asking is just like, use common sense. Do you really think it's a Nazi government and it's a Nazi nation when they elect a Jewish president? I mean, come on. That's a bit ludicrous. Right. Do you really think that the Ukrainians were waiting for the Russians to come in so they can, bomb their own cities? it's all common sense. It just makes no sense. And why would Poland and other neighboring country? I mean, Poland right now accepted what, 2 million refugees or something? That's
almost 3 now.
Almost 3. And what's the population of Poland?
Oh, I don't know. You put me in the spot right now.
Yeah, it's still not. It's not China.
No, we're not China, but yeah,
it's small. It's small. Poland is a small country. To accept 3 million is insane. Insane.
38.5 million is what this is saying for World Population Review, and it peaked at 38.5 million. Now it's around to 37.5.
That's almost fucking 10%.
Yeah. I should say before COVID and after COVID.
Yeah, it's almost 10% of the population of Poland. That's an insane number to accept that many people into your country, in a matter of 3 months.
Yeah. Crazy.
The best part of this whole thing is that you can see so many Ukrainians on our streets right now. And they're all like laughing, speaking to each other with their language. And I also, I live really close to a few like smaller schools, here. So you can see like Ukrainian children, and they're all really like, really happy that they like found their like new environment, and everything is right now rebuilding. Even in my town, everything is right now is super. All is new, They have like the courts, the basketball courts, football courts, so they can like chill, relax, play, and so on. And right now everything is open. There is no like mentioning about the C word anywhere. No mandates, anything like that. So I'm super happy about it. That everyone is happy and everyone is looking, positive to this entire situation. Of course, it's hard for everyone, but at the same time, we got to stick together as the the president of Ukraine said, and he's doing an amazing job as far as like ruling his country. He's now not backing down. So the comments such as like let's don't support Ukraine and let's see how the situation will roll out. It's like so egoistic to me, and it's not
that's a good word.
It's not appropriate, So I would like just like, if you want to say those kind of things, just shut the fuck up and just like sit down, because you don't have you don't know what is going on. Seriously, you are like 1,000 kilometers. Sitting in US in your like warm chair and just like seeing just what's going on the news, and that's basically it. But you don't see how those people are like need what they have to like lose just to come here, because it's not it's not easy for them just to like travel so many miles to to different country and just like find a new place to stay, find a new job, and so on. So
yeah, and so this all goes in tandem with the massive support y'all have been sending as far as medical supplies and all kinds of other stuff too. Y'all hit a pretty big milestone as well with Apollon gym and nutrition as well. Just the amount of supplies. I don't know if you want to get into exact figures or not, but it's you shared in our group text the other day, and I'll just tell the listeners, it's impressive what what the humble little gym in Jersey has been able to do towards the cause. It's mighty impressive. I guess there's not really an easy way to transition from that to supplement talk, but I mean we're just gonna have to do the hard right turn kind of thing.
Maybe before we will like start, the questions from the listeners. I was listening to one interview today, and I heard this good quote that I wanted to like to say it here and just like hear your thoughts about it, because I think it was so on point. Mm-hmm. And the quote was like, if you're like saving money on your supplements, you are doing you are doing yourself a disservice. And I wanted to put it here and just like, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that like saving money just to like, buying the cheapest stuff, just to like save, you think it's a smart approach, or do you think it's like the quality should matter at most?
If you don't mind, I'll go first because we make some expensive shit. But
putting it lightly.
I mean,
the formulas justify the cost, though. It's not something
Yeah,
like the
I
Mind
mean,
Lab
you-
Pro
you
that's
have-
$90 for bullshit.
you
You put
have-
everything in consideration.
yeah, you have it just fuck, how do I go without insulting anyone? You banking basically when you have a company like Apollon, you're banking on the intelligence of the consumer. You're banking on the fact that the consumer know what he wants. We take simple math. I mean, it just doesn't get more simple than that. You know how much I admire Jay Cutler, as an athlete. I admire him as a businessman. I admire him as a human being. He's a great guy. So Jay Cutler has, for example, a pump pre-workout. I just saw the advertising for it. It's a pretty good pump pre-workout. Again, very good. And I think it's priced accordingly. And it has 2 grams of arginine nitrate, and it has 4 grams of citrulline, and it has something else. I forgot what it was.
I'm going to pull it up right now and see.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really, really nice. It's definitely going to give you a pump. I forgot what the third one was. Fuck.
Here
Doesn't
we
really
go.
matter. It's very simple. Fuck, I just escaped me.
Amplify. We got 4 grams of citrulline, 2 grams of arginine nitrate, 500 of coconut water powder.
Okay, so it's a good product. I mean, we can't say. I mean, Robert said himself, anything over 3 grams of citrulline is acceptable. So this is 4. You can't talk shit about this product. It's not really underdosed, maybe dosed on a lower spectrum with 6 to 8, but it's still properly dosed. You have 2 grams of arginine nitrate. It's not a cheap ingredient, but it's a good ingredient. He's charging, I think, $35 or $40 for it, which is reasonably priced. Then you have a product like Bare Knuckle. It has 8 grams of citrulline. That's double of what Jay Cutler has. It has 3 grams of arginine nitrate. And it has a few other ingredients, also pretty heavily or fully dosed, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
How can you expect? Again, please understand, I'm not talking negatively about Jay Cutler's product at all. If he was charging for it $50 or $60, I'd be upset. But I think anything under $40, between $30 to $40, I think is very reasonably priced for this kind of product. But you can't expect to pay for Bare Knuckle exactly the same price as you would pay for this product. And again, this is a good, solid product. I would take it myself, no issues whatsoever. And then you have other products like some Prop Blend that has like 2 grams and can go for $30 or $25 or $30. And in some cases, actually, that crappy product can cost as much as Jay Cutler. And sometimes they have the nerve to charge as much as Bare Knuckle. You see, so that's the problem. You have to understand, if you're on a certain budget and this is what you can afford, then absolutely 100% go with Jay Cutler's product. You can't go fucking wrong. It will give you the pumps. It will give you what you need. It's not underdosed. It's a solid product. If you can do a little bit better and you want, I'm really hesitating to say a better product, maybe a higher dosed, higher quality, or more jacked up product, then go with Bare Knuckle. But there is a reason why you will pay X amount of money for Bare Knuckle and X amount or Y amount of money for this particular product. There is a reason. Yes, I mean, the truth is that 4 grams of citrulline, and especially in today's market, and 8 grams of citrulline, they both pre-workouts. They both they purpose is identical. But I'm sorry, you cannot expect that you're going to pay for, I don't know, a Buick the same amount of money as you're going to pay for Ferrari. They both will get you from destination A to destination B You will have no issues. They're both good cars, but there are levels to this. There is an engine size, there is performance size. Ferrari is just way more jacked up. So yeah, I mean, Lukasz, with what you said, I absolutely agree. In most cases, not always, because that product that I cannot fucking stand, Excelsior, it's charging $55. When you look at the ingredients, you fully understand that it costs nothing to make. So it's a complete ripoff. So yeah, that is fucking wrong. But I think products like a Pro, like Morphogen, I keep talking about products like Apollon, ASC supplements. There are certain products that are pretty jacked the fuck up, and more ingredients, more dosages, more everything. You just simply cannot expect to pay the same money. Unfortunately, I had a guy who sent me a message. Why is over the top so expensive? Really? I mean, I need to answer that question, but I do have to explain to him that you look how many ingredients, look at the serving, look at this, look at it. If you bought this product separately and this product separately, there's like fucking 3 or 4 Apollon products in one. You get to say, yeah, but it's very expensive. Other intra workouts are $50-$60. By all means, go and buy those products. If it fits your budget, if that's what you want, if you think that intra workouts are all the same, then by all means. But the ones who actually want the type of product that that over the top represents, it's a small percentage of people, but it's more than enough to run our business and to run it successfully. We target that market, and I call it, I don't want to insult anyone, but the ones who actually do understand, or at least listen to us for explanations as to why 8 grams of citrulline is more expensive than 4. That doesn't mean that 4 is bad, but it's just less. So you pay less.
Correct. I want to make sure I understand the context of the question that you were asking us, Lukasz. Are you saying people should, are you asking, is it wise for people to save money specifically for the purpose of buying supplements, or should they be trying to just save money whenever they are purchasing, so where they should only hunt deals for supplements? Because I want to make sure the answer I'm giving is addressing the specific question you're asking.
No, the first one.
So should people be if they're hard up for money, or if they're on a very tight budget, should they be actually any spare cash? Should they be putting that in the savings instead of spending that on supplements? You mean?
Let me put it that way. We all have our budgets for supplements, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we also know that supplements are just like an additional for our diet, for our training routine, and so on. So if you don't have money, basically you don't spend it on supplements, right? Because you don't have money, you have other priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And the other priorities are, for example, the gym membership, the diet, so your food and so on, right? And if you got some extra cash, then you can sprinkle and, for example, search for some deals on some supplements.
Yeah.
But when you have, this budget on the supplements each month, let's say, you have, I don't know, $200, right? Let's say, to spend on the supplements.
Mm-hmm.
So do you always go to this route that you are searching for the cheapest stuff just to buy the biggest stack that's possible,
Yeah.
or you're aiming, okay, I've got $200 to spend, and I want to have the best quality, subs, but I don't care if it's gonna be 2 or 3 products. I can close up with the 3 products, but I want to make sure that what I'm doing in the gym is maximized, and these supplements that I'm gonna purchase gonna help me in my efforts, to achieve my results.
Yeah, I think, because at that point you're looking at quality versus quantity. So if I can only do, are you the type of person that's trying to buy 10 supplements for $200 budget, or are you the person that is just trying to maximize the most, and you're going to buy the best quality supplements, and maybe that's only 3 or 4 products, but each one of those is dosed in accordance with the research literature, and it's directly it's directed towards your specific goals, whether that's bodybuilding, general fitness, martial arts, endurance, body recomp, whatever. I think that almost boils down to the individual. As long as you're making ends meet, you're putting stuff in savings, you're not robbing from your wife, kids, husband, boyfriend, or whatever to buy your supplements, as long as you're, like you're paying all your bills and doing all that stuff. If you want to spend $200 a month on supplements, that's fine, provided you've got all the other basics covers. Like, it's kind of like when we're talking about even entertaining the concept of even starting to experiment with supplements. Do you have your sleep in order? Do you have your diet? Do you have your training? Do you have your lifestyle? Like, is all that shit in order? Then yeah, you can go into supplements. So I would kind of almost approach it with that kind of mindset that you were talking about. With, let's say you got that $200 budget, I would say go for the quality stuff. But most people, when they are first starting out, they're going to go for the quantity because they think the more that I can get, and you're going to learn this the hard way over the years. I mean, I did the same thing. Like when Hussein and I first got a house in Louisiana after we got married, I went and bought the cheapest weed eater, like hedge clipper I could get for the house, because I thought, that'll be like the $80 one's got to be as good as like the $250 one. And after 2 months of using it, the $80 one crapped out on me, and then I went back and ended up having to go buy the $200 one because I wasn't going to go through an $80 one every 2.5 months. So I think part of it is, a learning experience for the customers. And then there's also, just to make things a bit more complex and muddier, is that some products, there is a consumer that can benefit for having a great workout on a regular scoop of OG C4, like I'm talking like the baseline C4 these days. And sure, they could use something like bare knuckle or hooligan, but where they're at in their fitness journey, they're not going to really experience a difference because they don't have either the mental willpower, the experience, or just the physical, like, push yourself and kick yourself in the nuts to go that hard in the workout, to where they can get by with a cup of coffee or a C4 or a Bang energy drink. They'll have the same quality workout because they are not the person that has trained long enough or hard enough or knows how to kick it into that other gear. And it doesn't matter the pre-workout. That's not going to help them reach that pinnacle that they want to for that performance. If you're already of that mindset, then taking something fully loaded like hooligan will help you do that. But if you're a beginner, or you just, a person that's just doing it to be fun and active, your money is better directed to other efforts, I think. And so that spot, you could maybe go for like the mass play where you get a bunch of other supplements just to try out and experiment with. So it's kind of dependent on the individual and circumstances and where they're at with stuff, which, I mean, it's kind of a kind of answer, but that's I think probably a more answer. I don't know.
I think that what Robert said, like I should be technically disagreeing and saying, oh, no, you need to buy like the highest quality, buy Apollon and stuff like that. But the truth is, he's right. There are levels to this. I actually
sad to say that. I mean, I don't want to say that. I want to say always go buy the best shit. But
no, but you're right. You're actually right on point. When somebody is beginning, to work out. I mean, most people that in the beginning of their journey, I mean, the diet comes to play more than anything, and learning how to train, obviously, properly. Those are the basics. And everybody, or almost everybody, typically fucks up with a diet, right? I mean, that's the main thing. So honestly, getting a good protein, I would pay for a good one, obviously. And there's not much of a difference today in price between a crappy concentrate and something solid. Getting a good protein and getting maybe something like creatine, maybe not even instantly, is more than enough. It's more than enough to get you started. Energy, I mean, have a fucking cup of espresso and that will have you flying, or double it. Well, in Lukasz's case, is have a gallon of espresso, Sorry, I misspoke in fun of him. There you go. Yeah. So, it's more than enough, and there are levels to this. In fact, what? Somebody who's a beginner driver, like say my daughter just got a driver's license, and her very, very first car is a Nissan Sentra, which I think is a great car. It's a great beginner's car. It's a great car for a kid. Exactly. I have a friend who is doing very well for himself, and he criticized me. And he goes, "Why would you get her a crappy Sentra if you should have gotten her something like a BMW?" And I was like, fuck no. She's not getting a BMW. You're fucking kidding me? Yeah. She's a beginner. She should be grateful that she even has a car. I mean, they're Jose, for you, fucking espresso is extra strong. You're the opposite of Lukasz. You're like a fucking plus and minus on a battery. So the thing is, there are levels to this. After a few years, when Jessica maybe gets a job or maybe graduates from college and whatnot, probably going to get a slightly better car. Not that there's anything wrong with Sentra, because I think it's a phenomenal car. It's a great car, very economical, great on gas, especially today. It's kind of important, and it's beautiful. But there are levels to this. So somebody, and I don't think that Jessica would appreciate as a beginner driver, cars like Mercedes and BMW
Tesla
and
or something like that. Yeah,
it's just a different level to this. What I would advise is still stay away from crappy prop blends and listen to people that know what they're talking about and get some perspective and start with something. I mean, look, a crappy product and something like Jay Cutler's that I think he has a very good line. There is not much of a price difference. You start with something like Jay's line, you're in good hands. You're definitely in good hands. It's a good start. It's a good quality. But yeah, I mean, when you progress in life where you can afford a better product or you have some experience, and you obviously getting stronger, you're getting fitter. I mean, like Sean Ray said, secret to success is never to see satisfaction in a mirror. And I think it's true. So you can always keep on improving. I'm still learning about supplements. I'm still learning about ingredients. There is a lot to learn. And, I even though I like the stronger products like Hooligan and I appreciate Assassin and stuff like that, but believe it or not, my go-to is Lionheart. And my own line, my go-to is Lionheart that is a little bit moderate on stem, but I still get all the benefits. But, considering that I know the formula, and we worked on it and stuff like that, but if I didn't, I would try to educate because, it doesn't matter how rich you are, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you still shouldn't fucking tossing it in the air. You should pay for quality and you should always get the value for your money. So I don't think just because somebody is rich and can afford fucking a container of bare knuckle on a daily basis, it's not something he should be doing. Make sure that your money is well spent. But I would say quality, proper dosing works on every level. It's just sometimes you don't have to go with the absolute highest level because you're not quite there yet. Doesn't mean you should be buying crap that is not only doesn't do shit for you, but in reality can actually be harmful to you.
Yeah.
And I'd also, if I can approach this kind of from like the bourbon angle. So, I mean, I enjoy bourbon. I also kind of like the artistry and the craftsmanship and kind of the history and the science that goes into making a good bourbon. There are bourbons that cost anywhere from $15 for a 750 milliliter bottle up to in the hundreds. Okay. Depending on if you get some of these like super rare ones. I could afford, if I wanted to go buy an $80 bourbon or $150 bourbon or on special occasion, a $200 bourbon. I'm never going to do that though. There are so many great products in like the 20 to 40 or 30 to $50 range. I don't find the value in spending that money on a $180 bottle of bourbon. Maybe if the four of us ever got together one day and like the three of y'all magically find an affinity for bourbon. I mean, it's like a commemorative thing. I would buy like $100 bottle of bourbon. That's really hard to find or something. But that's more about investing in the memories that we make than actually enjoying that bourbon. I don't find the value in spending that obscene amounts of money. Whereas other people are saying, yeah, I'm going to buy that $200 bottle of bourbon. There's really good shit. And they've done blinds with some of these like lower end products and they match up in a blind compared to some of these older ones or even beat them on occasion. And so it's, where's at the end of the day, where do you value your money? Where do you find the benefit of it? Because I'll get just as much of enjoyment sipping on a $30 bourbon as a $50 bourbon. But it's Devin, thoughts on kratom? I have never used it. It is not a dietary supplement, though it has been helpful for people that are dealing with pain issues and or addicted to opioids and other pain-killing medications. That's about all I know on it. Gentlemen?
I tried it once or twice or something like that. Can't say it was bad. Can't say it was good. I didn't. Again, I don't want to talk about something I don't understand or don't know or fully. I heard great things. Some people swear by it, so maybe they can be better at answering it. I didn't feel much of a difference. Granted, maybe the one I used was underdosed. Maybe it wasn't a legit source. I can't say, but the one that I used didn't see no difference. Sorry.
Yeah.
Never used it. Not planning to do it. And honestly, I've heard some things about like importing kratom to some countries because that's not legal. Especially importing kratom to US, that's not illegal. So, as a matter of fact, I was listening to one interview this past weekend about this ingredient, and one expert said that importing kratom to US, it doesn't happen. So I believe Robert, it was your podcast with Bruce.
Yeah.
He mentioned that that it's not legal to import the kratom. So what they do is they like change the labels, and that's how basically the stuff comes to US. So I even wouldn't suggest everyone just to like go and try it on their own. But yeah, if you want to try it, I know that Mark Bell is selling it via his site.
I'd be curious to see the third-party tests on that.
Yeah, me too. But still, I'm not like into like opioids and those kinds of things. It's just not my cup of tea. So yeah. I would stick to my overtime, or basically I'm gonna overdose on my caffeine.
There's no such thing as you overdosing. It doesn't fucking exist. No. Guys, I have to interrupt quickly and say that I just got a message from Alexander, and he just placed first place in Toronto. So congratulations.
Yes!
God damn, Alex. Congrats, man.
Congratulations. Awesome. Very happy for you, Alex. Yeah. He placed first place.
Outstanding. Hey, let me get you up on the big screen, Robbie. Hold on. I can let me shift you around.
Yeah, let
me get that out of there.
Yeah, I also got the picture.
Yeah.
On.
Very cool. Big congratulations, Alex.
Yeah.
Big congratulations.
Hey, team Butterflies.
There you go. Huge congratulations, man. Hey, that's two listeners of the podcast that have won a bodybuilding show now, Alex and JoJo.
Yeah, so just to wrap it up with kratom, to be honest with you, like I said, I read some things about it. Obviously, I read some positive. Some people say it's crap.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of knowledge. I mean, I'm with Lukasz on this one. I'm gonna stick to dietary supplements, something that at least I understand a little bit. But kratom, tried it. Didn't feel nothing. Didn't feel good or bad. I didn't see any noticeable improvements. I think I had like a bottle, and there was like 10 servings or something like that. I think I used at least 3 or 4. Didn't see nothing. So if it works for you and you want to use it, I'll pass.
Yeah. Simon says, question for Lukasz. Do you think that hero lean is overkill? Do you actually feel like you need this type of energy? This thing for some people could end bad. Please share your opinion. Simon had a nice session on it, but about 25 minutes after it kicked in, it was not pleasant, if you can put it that way. So what is hero lean?
It's a Dark Labs product, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me pull that up, and I can share that with the listeners so they understand what in the world we're talking about.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So have you used this, Lukasz? First off.
Obviously, yes.
Yes, I
did. That's a dumb question. I don't even know why I asked that. Can I get the actual
that's his sleep formula.
I wish.
Slow down. All right, there we go. 2 grams LCLT, 300 milligrams olive leaf extract, 300 caffeine, 300 raspberry ketones, 150 green coffee bean extract, 250 Eridrensis, 200 DMHA, 50 milligrams geranium extract, 50 synephrine, 50 hordenine, 25 GBB, 10 black pepper extract, 10 yohimbine, HCl. Good lord, that's a lot. And 3 milligrams alpha yo. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, go ahead, Lukasz.
That hits, definitely hits. And if your tolerance on your himbine is pretty low, I wouldn't recommend anyone to try this product because you have the drippage basically from your mouth hole and your nose and even your ears, and you're dripping all over the place. So it's definitely hard stuff. It definitely is not for like a regular gym goer or like a guy that is just like starting with the stims.
Yeah.
I know why they put like raspberry ketones in this formula, just for the flavoring purposes. That's
okay.
why.
All right.
Yeah,
I can buy that then.
Yeah, that's why. It wasn't because I was talking with Wojtek about this one, and I was like, dude, why did you put this crap into your formula? And he was like, I had to put this just to like make sure that it will taste a bit better because it tasted like fucking shit.
Yeah, some of those ingredients are gnarly.
Yeah. So with addition of raspberry ketones, it tastes okay. It tastes fine, you know. But yeah, it's loaded, you know. It's loaded stuff. I wouldn't use it like every day or even like 3 times per week. Like I tried to like use it maybe 1 or 2 twice per week. That's in the maximum.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gives you energy for days. And when it comes to like appetite, it's not existent. So if you're cutting, man, it's awesome. I remember I was taking it straight early from the early morning and till noon, zero appetite, and I was fasting through the entire time, and I was like super wired. I could like last for a long time. So yeah. Good stuff.
I know about this product. I mean, obviously, I saw it. You know, the reviews and everything else. This is the one that actually Alan got my attention, where he said he didn't feel good when he was taking it, and he was very worried about it, and he discontinued, as far as I remember. So what Simon said actually kind of came back to me, because that was about a year or maybe 2 ago, where Alan tried it when they were filming for Muscle Players.
He's a big boy too, so I mean he can handle a pretty good bolus of stimulants.
He did not feel good on this. He didn't like it because he wanted to talk to me about it. And you know, once I saw the formula, so this formula is kind of reminds me of Shogun, but not the current Shogun. The Shogun we used to do years ago. And there was a reason specifically because of this that I did not like it. I did not like the previous Shogun. I think it was not that it's an overkill. It's like, because put it this way, there is a market for everything, and certain people can actually handle it no problem. Just like certain people cannot handle Assassin, you know, at the full dose, and some people can take 2 scoops, which obviously I would not suggest. I mean, if you look at this product, it's pretty good. Yeah, the raspberry ketones. Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but you know, I guess if they used it for flavoring, I also do understand perfectly well. On the other hand, I mean, you can see that I love the L-carnitine used in this.
It's a solid dose, and it's not a cheap ingredient. At least
not
stateside,
a cheap ingredient. I mean, everything that they do, they really, I mean, dose to the bring. I mean, they do it the style that I like. You know, they don't cheapen on ingredients. They don't cheapen on dosages. They're actually doing a very good job. However, at the same time, I don't know what kind of synephrine they're using, because we are using always the 98%. I don't know which kind is this one, but let's assume this is 98%. At 98%, 50 milligram is actually a pretty good dose. But combined with alpha yohimbe at 3 And if alpha yohimbe is actual legit alpha yohimbe, which based on what I hear it is,
Yeah,
and and then you have yohimbe in HCl, which Robert, you and I actually discussed about the other product only recently, and we set to test even 5 milligram because some people do not handle 5 milligram very well. Remember you said that, and I said we'll try different. So so now you have a bunch of people that would not be able to handle yohimbe HCl at 10 milligram, just one ingredient. I mean, seemingly very innocent ingredient, but at 10 milligram, a lot of people would not be able to handle it. Right. Alpha yohimbe at 3 is actually on a higher side. And this is something I learned from TJ, where he said 2 is probably the highest he would have gone. He actually prefers 1.5 or so. And I do agree also. We did 2.5 milligram of alpha yohimbe in Assassin version 6. And that was very, very aggressive, combined with all the other crap that was in it. Yeah. So now you have a 10 milligram of yohimbe HCl, which a lot of people cannot handle. Then you add 3 milligram of alpha yohimbe, which is on a really higher side. It's really strong. Then you have synephrine that in conjunction with it will give you quite a rush as well. And then obviously, we have to take into consideration other stimulants like ariogerensis and obviously DHMA. And geranium, I would suspect that this is actual DMA. You have that. And, and of course, caffeine at 300 is also, a pretty decent dose. You have a cocktail this is the reason why I did not like Shogun. And I did not like Shogun specifically, and I'll explain why. Because this product is more intended as a fat burner, right? So having so many stimulants, like Lukasz said, will definitely suppress your appetite because it's just not something that you want. The last thing you want is to eat, which is great while you're cutting. Right. But I would prefer to go the other route, and which is I like to see, and this is the reason why Shogun was reformulated with a little bit of thermogenic ingredients like paradoxin and GBB, something that will make you sweat to kind of hit it from a different angle and not just completely on stimulants. So that was the main reason. So I think that what Lukasz said is correct. It's something that if you can handle it, you can really have fun with it and you can really see the benefits because you will sweat your ass off. It will suppress your appetite. Yeah. It's properly dosed. The ingredients are solid. I just, again, it's not for everybody. So Simon just happens to be one of those guys that it's not for him specifically, but
I also want to point out that, those kinds of products can't be used on the consistent basis. You know what I'm trying to say, because they're
not only on a consistent basis, but not by everybody.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first point that I wanted to say. Like, if you're like a beginner or even intermediate, just don't touch this product at all.
100%.
And as far as and as far as advanced users, okay, you can start using it, but just be cautious with it, and just don't use it on a daily basis because you're gonna fuck yourself up basically. Yep. And with these kind of formulas, okay, they are cool, but at the same time, don't be like a dickhead and just use them once or twice per week, and that's basically it. Just to maybe have a bit different stimulus to your fat loss, or something like that. But as far as taking on a daily basis, no, fuck no.
Oh, there is another angle. You can take advantage of the fact that this is pretty well dosed product. I mean, it's really well dosed. I think taking half a serving sometimes could benefit, and you can adjust your tolerance, and you can see if it works for you. I mean, you can try and experiment with it. You can do another thing. Don't use it at all. If it's not good for you, because there's always that person, because if you look at it, I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who can use it absolutely no problem. They tolerance, they experience or whatnot. It just happens to be that it's not for everybody. And obviously, these companies like like dark labs, they make things that are more powerful, more for experienced consumers. That's the reason why you won't see companies like that, in GNC or Vitamin Shop, or in many retailers. Why? Because not only the demand is not there, because certain customers, the mainstream customers, are not ready for it.
Hmm.
On the other hand, also you can respect the fact that this is a fully open label. You can see if it's
Yeah.
for you or not. You can make that judgment. I would not say anything negative about the product. I think it's a little extreme, but it's honest extreme. So, you look at the label and you make the decision for yourself.
Simon says, I'm still high and I took it 6 hours ago. I
Yeah.
mean, I've enjoyed it, but the initial hit was not nice. All right, let's go back.
Yeah, I remember.
Go ahead,
I
Lucas.
remember when I took overtime 6 caps and the chaos 4 caps, and I basically had like a similar like effect as far as like the hero lean, but with the Apollon combo, the bigger, how can I say it? The focus was way better, and it was like super tunnel vision, with the hero lean you got this energy, you are buzzing, and with overtime and chaos, I remember it was like more like
Tunnel.
yeah,
But at
focus.
the same time, even for you, it was pretty strong. For an average person, it would be extremely strong.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Buckshot Schmidt, which I've never seen you comment before, so welcome to the party, Buckshot. And for everybody else, if it seems like your comment's not getting through, there's a couple in the feed that we're going to get to, but if it seems like your comment's not at least showing up on your end, jump over to Twitch, because sometimes YouTube gets a little glitchy with putting comments to the side. With that said, Buckshot Schmidt, thoughts on Glaxon's Specimen Max, specifically the amount of Yohimbe. All right, let's pull this up. This is Glaxon. Packs a punch and NO3T powered pumps in its GNC exclusive Specimen Max. High stimulant, hard hitting pre workout from Glaxon. This is courtesy of some schmuck bag that owns Stack 3D news site, who shall remain anonymous for today's podcast. We got 3.2 beta-alanine, 2500 betaine anhydrous, 1000 milligrams astrolite, 500 milligrams nitrate blend of sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, 400 caffeine anhydrous, 400 yerba santa, 300 milligrams cholinase, which is their choline blend of vitacholine, alpha GPC, CDP choline, 250 of Rodeo Prime, which is the NNB version of rhodiola crenulata extract, standardized to 6% salidrosides, which are kind of like the ass-kicking component, the energizing one of rhodiola. 250 of velvet bean, where we're going to get some L-Dopa from that. 200 of English ivy extract. 150 of theobromine. 25 of estrogen. 3 milligrams of Rowolfia, and 2 milligrams of Yohimbe. Thoughts on this, gentlemen? And then shots specifically in regards to the 5 milligrams total of Yohimbe extracts. Thoughts one way or the other?
I mean, it's definitely not strong on pump. It's, there is some elements, but this is probably brings us back to the argument or discussion when we discussed the pre-workout from Unbound. I don't know if you remember where we said there are no pump ingredients in there, but this one is pretty much an open book. This is definitely a performance pre-workout, not a pump pre-workout. You will get energy from this without a doubt. Focus, from what I see, I haven't used the product, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't see it being like this crazy focus driven product, but I think it's decent. In terms of energy, Alpha Yohimbe, I think, is the one that the guy who asked the question noticed pretty well, because it is an attention grabber, specifically for those that do understand the labels. At 3 milligram, this is on the higher spectrum, and from what I understand, people did report that they feel it. But again, 3 milligram of potent quality alpha yohimbe will kick your ass. You can fucking delete everything from here and just leave those 3 milligram, and you will feel it. Then you have 2 milligram from HCl, which is not that much, but nevertheless it complements it. So I would expect, again, I haven't used, but I would expect something that if you take, you will feel it. In terms of performance, I think it's going to come down to what Lukasz previously, when he described Hero Lean and his combination of overtime and chaos. It all depends on what you're looking for. If you're going to look for crazy pumps, this most likely will not bring that. If you're looking for something that's going to have an absolute tunnel vision, I mean, I could be wrong, but I doubt. I think it's going to be okay. And if you want something that's going to give you a kick in the ass, then this will do the trick. I mean, that's what I see.
Yeah. Lukasz?
Yeah, I don't want to say a lot about the formula on paper, because I know that as far as like Glaxon and Joey, he always formulates things on his own. So sometimes we say that the formulas of the Glaxon on paper are like shit, but everything plays well when you try the product. So just looking at the formula on paper, it looks decent. And from my personal perspective, I would just ditch few ingredients that are here, but I'm not a fan of, for example, beta alanine in a pre-workout, but that's just me. I think it's a pure saturation ingredient, although I like to see betaine, but it's pure saturation ingredients, which is funny to me. So I'm neglecting my own opinion, basically. 400 milligrams of caffeine will definitely give you plenty of energy, So as Robbie said, it won't be like a super pump-based formula, but I think that they are focusing more on focus, drive, mental clarity, and basically energy in this formula. Of course, 3 milligrams of alpha-IO will give you this extra buzz. So in combination with 400 milligrams of caffeine, that's gonna kick your ass. And I like to see that they are not using theanine, but there is rhodiola, which in my opinion gonna smooth everything up, and is gonna be a way better experience in combination with choline, that is here, which they are using 3 different sources. So that's pretty cool as well. And what else? Oh, and then they are using nitrates, which is also a nice touch to this formula. So yeah, in overall, it can be cool. I would definitely give it a try. If I will get some samples, or if I will have a chance to try it, I will definitely give it a try. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it's a product that will definitely give you a kick in the ass, and will definitely, I mean, a pre-workout is, to get you to work out. This will get you to work out for sure. The 3 milligram of alpha-IO, I'm pretty sure some people will not like the experience. I mean, I'm pretty sure about it. But on the other hand, it's straightforward. It is what it is. You'll definitely feel it for 100%.
Yeah,
I like what you said, as far as as far the consumer, perspective. If it depends what you're looking for. So if it's something that floats your boat, go ahead, try it out, try it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have not tried this one. I tried the GFY yo-yo blend that they released, or when it was in beta testing. Joey and Mike were nice enough to send me a couple samples to try. I got through 3/4 of that one. I mixed up the full serving. I drank 3/4 of it, and I was buzzing, almost verging uncomfortably. After 3 to 4 hours, that did not have this much yohimbine in it. I think it had 1.5 to 2 of each. I can't imagine what this one's going to feel like on an energy side. It's going to be intense. Just for somebody, knowing how I react to stuff, this is going to be intense. I'd be curious to try it. I would obviously start with half a serving first. I think more than anything, I'm surprised GNC's allowing that much of him being in there, because GNC's usually pretty tight with their dosages on certain ingredients. Like they won't allow you to use a certain amount of synephrine in combination with caffeine. So I'm surprised, or intrigued, I guess, to see that they're letting this much yohimbine go in there, which is kind of cool. Mitch. Lately, everyone who is a guru there's Shane. Sorry, Shane, I can't see who's in the background. I don't know how long you've been in the back just doing your little poses or whatnot, but I can't see anything.
By the way, your t-shirt is too small.
Yeah,
I know, dude. This is the XXL. This is Gymshark XXL.
I know. That's why I'm laughing your ass off. This is fucking Gymshark.
there you go.
I was sitting here posing my ass off, and Nikki's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "He'll see me soon. Just you don't understand. It's okay. You don't get it."
I can't, because when I do that thing to share the screen, the only thing I see is the screen I'm sharing, because I'm only working on one monitor here, so I only see that. And so not until I close that window and come back to the background here do I actually see all of your wonderful faces and Shane doing his little poses at the bottom here, where I get to let everything in. So yeah. Shane, have you tried the Glaxon Specimen Max GNC exclusive yet? We were just discussing thoughts on it. I mean, it looks intense. I tried the yo-yo blend of the GFY.
Like
and it
the
was
yo-yo, like the difference between the regular I think it's referred to as worldwide.
Yeah.
To the yo-yo is quite significant. Like it's a very
right.
There's a jump in caffeine. There's a difference in ingredients.
Yeah.
But then the differences between yo-yo, GFY, and Max seem to be a lot more kind of not like the same, but they do seem a little similar. I mean, it is a specimen series, so that makes sense. But the leap from the regular to the yo-yo is quite large, whereas those other ones, I kind of get the sense that they would have similar kind of stimulation, similar effects.
Yeah.
I've had the GFY V2, had the yo-yo. I haven't had the Max. I want to try the Max. But, I actually asked. I said, hey, guys, how easy is it to get my hands on some of the Max? And obviously not being in the US makes it a little bit difficult, but we'll see.
Yeah. Mitch, so lately everyone who is a guru or influencer has been raving about flavors of pre-workouts, but nothing about formulas. I have thoughts on that, but I'll save those for a second. Are flavors overshadowing ingredient profiles for the masses? Who wants to lead off on this?
I'll go first. Why not? I mean, the truth is like the supplement industry is huge. I mean, it's absolutely huge, and somebody like us, we obviously know a little bit more about the ingredients aspects and and what works and what doesn't work. But when you have that global market and you have so many influencers and so many self-proclaimed gurus and whatnot, on social media, you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have so many. I mean, it's just like countless. I mean, what is it stopping anyone from saying, I'm a guru, I'm an expert? Go on YouTube and see how many so-called reviewers are there. There are reviewers that literally don't know anything about supplements. They just don't. I mean, what do you expect them to say? He will say either this shit hits, or he will say this tastes amazing, or it's not. I mean, you can't expect any other feedback because they simply don't understand the ingredients. Like, for example, you take Ari, Garage Gym Junkie, a homie, I mean, you talk to him, he'll be the first one, at least I admire that, to admit he doesn't know anything about ingredients. But there are others who claim to understand something, but they don't. They don't understand that, for example, what's his name? Sean from Substock, right? He just did a review of Universal Soldier, and he really liked the flavor. And he says, I'm surprised because considering there is 1 gram of lion's mane, this ingredient is very, very hard to mask. So it's clearly somebody who actually has an understanding about ingredients and how they work in a formula. It's a pre-workout. It's something you take before the workout to give you that kick So it's something that can be taken. I mean, typically it's recommended 6, 8, 10 ounces of water, but you can literally take it with 3 or 4 ounces of water and just down it to get all the benefits, and you're pretty much done. But considering it's the same thing as coaching today, bodybuilding coaches, you have bodybuilding coaches 10, 20 years ago, it was literally like one coach for the entire state. Today, there's 10 coaches in every gym. There are more coaches than there are athletes. Everybody has a coach, and they don't know anything about coaching. They don't know anything about nutrition. They don't know anything about diet.
Yep.
And everybody's talking about macros, and everybody, is a mathematician, even though it's a lot simpler than that. Everybody's walking around with a gallon of water. And they made it out to be a science that it doesn't need to be. On the other hand, where it has to be a science, like supplements, the ingredients, the mechanisms, the dosages, the quality, the sourcing. I mean, it's a very, very complex environment. It's a complex industry. They simplified it to a matter of taste. Oh, this kicks. A more popular term, this slaps. So you see somebody posting a pre-workout. You don't know anything about the ingredients. You don't know anything about anything, but he will make one comment and says, "This shit slaps." And that's
Like Will Smith kind of slap? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Probably less of what you're gonna feel. But the truth is, it's enough for a kid. I mean, look at the emphasis right now in pre-workout. There was something that Shane posted about a company. They have a very, very cool looking container. It looks like a leather wrap or whatever it was. It looks very cool. But is it more important than what's inside? Apparently it is, because some people pay attention to it. Glaxon puts a very nice and very cool looking label. It's cool, but is it more important than what's on the label? Or you have Ghost collaborating with Ninja Turtles. Is that more important than what's inside the container that you're consuming, you're putting inside your body, to yield certain results? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. By today's standards, you can release a fucking gorilla on a container, and it's going to look very cool and very scary, and it's enough to sell. And then the same very gorilla, yes, I'm actually talking about Primeval Labs, and then the very same Primeval Labs, because obviously things are not going phenomenal, selling the very same gorilla, buy one get one free. Because the truth is, at the end of it, you can have the coolest looking label. You can have the best tasting pre-workout. It's going to be absolutely delicious. But if that shit's not going to work, at the end, guess what? The consumer is not buying. All of a sudden, the company is reformulating or releasing it or upgrading it or something else. Because the truth is, that's what's inside the container. Even if we don't talk about it, and maybe initially it's not important these days, at least to the masses, that's what sells. The cool container does sell. The cool looking label does sell. The great tasting pre-workout does sell. When I see it, somebody is asking about one of my products, what does it taste like? When that's the first question that you're asking, I'm already, okay, you serious? It tastes like a pre-workout. That's all it is. How about, or it's the same thing as when they say, well, hooligan is 600 milligrams of caffeine. Yes, it is. Did you read the rest of it? Because caffeine, everybody knows. Everybody fat fuck that goes to Starbucks knows what caffeine is. Unfortunately, they don't understand what tyrosine is. They don't know what alpha GPC means and why is it 50% and what the dosage is supposed to be. So if I give you 150 milligram of alpha GPC, I give you 250 milligram of tyrosine, I give you 200 milligram of caffeine, and a sprinkle of other crap, but it's going to taste amazing. Now all of a sudden it's a good pre-workout. Unfortunately, Mitch is not really off on this one. That's how it works in today's market.
Yeah, very well put. I would say like most of these self-proclaimed gurus or influencers don't know how any of these ingredients work. They are told from the brand to say, and I've had to write scripts for different brands I've written content for over the year, like scripts for video. So when they get in front of the camera, I have to give them 4 or 5 bullet points, and you have to put it in, meathead speak. You can't talk about citrulline fueling nitric oxide pathways and, arginase inhibition.
And I can only imagine how challenging it is for you to make a bullshit fucking content for an idiot.
Yeah, you gotta put it in but I mean, in one sense, that's one of the reasons I got into the industry, is to help the average soccer mom understand what ingredients do. So doing that, but a lot of people, when they see these influencers doing stuff, these people are just reading a script, or they've been given talking points from the brand themselves saying, hey, mention how great tasting is, mention how it doesn't clump, mention how it gives great pumps and smooth, sustained focus. So you hear the same 5 or 6 talking points from every brand, because they're all recycling more or less the same little narrative for everything, just spinning it for their product. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I was going to say about that. Shane, Lukasz, anything to add?
Lukasz can go.
Shane, you can go, please.
I don't know. This really about the gorilla. I had this conversation with the guys at New Live, and I said it's tricky to judge brands from other countries. Like the gorilla bursting out of the tub, that's a Spanish brand, and to be honest, their formula, it's not too bad considering what else is in the country. And I'm not talking like brands that have been imported in. I'm talking about locally made Spanish brands. Yeah. Their formula isn't half bad. And to be honest, it's I always find it's tricky to judge, because you'll have companies out there who are literally trying to do the same formula as someone else, or trying to compete with them, and then they put the container, or they make the container stand out above the other one. And it can look like they're putting more effort into marketing, but realistically, they're just doing what the competition is doing and trying to do that a little bit more. But then you do get those brands that, like you said, where they'll do the flavor and they'll do the tub and they'll do this and the marketing and put it in like a beautiful box, and that's obviously taken away from the budget of the formula. And I mean, his original point was obviously about the influencers, and I don't know. I don't really follow any. I mean, I don't follow any influencers. I kind of just follow the brands and put it out there. Like for me, this is just how Stacked works. I have a hierarchy of news stories. So if someone does a new product, that's first on the list. If someone reformulates or changes, that's next on the list. If someone changes out an ingredient or makes a tweak rather than like a full V2 or V3, that's also up there. Next down is a flavor. So if someone does a flavor, actually before that, if someone has a teaser of a new product, that comes before a new flavor. So I probably have to not share 30 different new flavors that I get each week, because I just would rather put the other ones out there, because for me, that's the important part. And flavors are almost self-explanatory to me. If someone says, I've got a new fruit punch flavor of this product, there's not much more I can write about that. That's kind of all I have to. It's kind of all I have to write. Like, it's the same formula, now you get fruit punch. So we don't do too many different flavor stories. So for me, importance has always been on what's in it, because that's going to be the thing that makes the difference most to the consumer. And some of these flavors are pretty cool, I will say that. But I had this discussion with, I'm pretty sure I said it to Lukasz. I said it to someone. I said, when I first bought a supplement, the guy, and this is seriously how it happened, I went to the gym, first gym I had a membership at, and the dude said, because he saw me looking at the protein powder, and he said, oh man, you should come to my supplement store. We got some pretty good protein powder there to help recovery, help nutrition. He did not tell me, you should come get my protein because it's going to be a tasty chocolate shake. No, that wasn't the point. That wasn't, like, I didn't go and buy anything for the specific reason to drink something nice, to take something nice post. It was purely for the extra protein, the energy. I've never bought anything for the flavor. But again, this is just me. So I can't really relate too much to these people that are saying flavors are more important. They do have an importance, because mainstream people would potentially prefer something that's less effective but tastes way, way better. I can see that. but you still, if you're any kind of influencer, I think, or any kind of opinion, you should be putting the formulas first in my mind. And the consumer should be the one to then decide how important flavor is, not the original kind of influence. I would never be saying stuff like that, but again, this is kind of just me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Right.
I would say probably compliance with taking a product. Like flavor is going to help with them taking compliance. This is why, like prescription drugs, that's one of the, and like Marina probably knows this firsthand, Robbie, like getting patients to consistently take their meds is one of the hardest things in the healthcare profession, because they either don't want to take it, they don't like the taste of it or something, so they're not going to take it. So by making a product better tasting, brands are enticing consumers to want to come back and drink it. Because if it tastes like mud, like the average consumer, I'm not talking about us that will just like dry shoot raw lion's mane powder and just get on with our business, but the average consumer is going to need to have it to taste good, because if it tastes like crap, or if it's chalky, gritty, or if it clumps, that's not a good experience for them. They're not going to like having to deal with the hassle or any of that. So they need it to be really nice. So that's why there's been an overabundance of focus on mixability. And
I feel like it's a tricky thing though, right? Like it's like a coach, when you see athletes on the Olympics on the TV, right? You see they have great physiques. You're like, oh my God. But nowhere along the way is anyone saying you should do this. Like no coach is telling their Olympic athlete to do anything that makes them look better. They're doing it to improve their sport.
Correct.
But then consumers will say, oh shit, I should get into swimming because look at those sons of bitches, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of like, if you're going to provide advice on supplements, flavor can play a part, but you need to be driving the original purpose that you're taking the thing.
Yep.
And that's, to me, is the formula, and then let the consumer then decide, because the level of importance of flavor for consumers will drastically differ. Yeah. Like me and Lukasz would probably drink cold, hard, fizzy piss and be happy if it gives us the best workout, whereas someone might not even touch anything that has a slight tang to it, kind of thing. So
right. Yep. Exactly. Greetings, all. Greetings, Way of the Dead Gone.
Who is that? That's a beautiful name.
Yeah. Logan, for Devin, instead of kratom, I would look into Akuma seeds instead, because there's less risk for addiction and liver risk. I suggest this because they have smaller mechanisms and just seem a lot safer.
I thought kratom had a bad rap. Did I miss something?
Yeah, somewhere? It does. It's also not legal to import into the States.
Because Mr. Olympia has that deal with that hippo or something, and I see it on the Instagram all the time. Am I missing something?
What? Yeah.
Go to the Mr. Olympia Instagram page.
I don't have Instagram. It's not going to pull up for me.
Oh, for Christ's sakes! God damn it!
Sorry. Well, like I know Mark Bell's got a thing to have Mind Bullet, and that's supposedly a kratom supplement. But
but what did you say about hippo?
There's a hippo.
I'm getting there.
Typing in hippo kratom supplement. Happy Hippo is pushing the
Happy Hippo. It's I see it all the time on the Olympia Instagram page. I'm assuming they have some sort of partnership or deal, and it's like a happy. I've never looked into it.
Happy Hippo kratom.
There you go.
Your best source for proprietary blends.
Look at that.
Kratom products and
okay, the branding I know is a little bit better than that, but I don't know. I like it. All I remember hearing is some dodgy shit about kratom, and then I saw it with Mr. Olympia with these hippo things. Again, I don't. All I know is hippo and kratom. I don't know too much else. I've never. Yeah, there you go. Look at that, big fat pink hippo.
There you go. Must make you happy if it's got a big fat.
Kudos to them, because I remember the shit out of this.
Hey, but does it mean is it manufactured in US? How they made it?
I don't know, dude. All I know is that there's a big fat pink hippo. I see a lot of shit every day, and that thing sticks.
Based in Idaho.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just curious. I never looked into it all that. There you go.
I think when it comes to Olympia, you can fucking sell cocaine as long as you pay them. They will allow it.
Hey, bro, this
Yeah,
looks like
Obvi.
fucking gummy.
I thought you were going to say Obvi.
Yeah, it kind of does look like Obvi.
I guess that's only because of the pink, but
And sorry, Ronak, for saying this looks like Obvi, but their branding looks very
it's only
Hey,
similar.
but
because of the pink.
There are definite similarities.
Yeah, but it works. For example, if I'm gonna say, don't think about pink elephant, you will all will think about one fucking thing, pink elephant.
Yeah, but this
So
is
if they
literally
go
that
down-
situation. It's a
Yeah.
pink hippo.
Yeah, and that's why everyone is thinking about this.
Maybe they're just like,
Manufacturing
what,
on another level.
what can we do that people won't forget? Like a pink elephant.
Let's change the logo of Apollon.
Yeah, but
Pink.
but if you think about it, this definitely draws attention.
No, I was always curious. I just didn't know what the rules are behind it because I just remember seeing so much shit about it, and then this
What do you mean about rules?
I didn't know how easy, if it was legal, if it was easy to get internationally.
Yeah,
I
FDA has
just-
not approved kratom as a dietary supplement. It's banned in all of these countries, including the UK, Poland, Finland, Israel, Australia, Burma, and certain states.
In the United States, it's very gray area.
Oh,
You
so
can
it's
still
certain
buy it.
states.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why.
White
I just
vein
never-
melee kratom powder.
Yeah, never looked into it.
Yellow
too
vein
much.
mangda. Green vein mangda. White dragon. That's the one I want to try. White dragon.
What is this stuff like meant to do? Is it just sort of like a mood thing?
It helps with like stress and anxiety, but it's also used by people for pain relief and to get off opioid addiction.
Eh.
So,
We watched that thing. It was like a mini series about how that OxyContin thing got in. It was a crazy fucking documentary. It just reminds you how America just has some of the craziest whacked out stories that are just in government, like that make it that far.
yeah.
That was ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how much of that was like real, but that shit was crazy. But the whole time I was watching it, because I remember whenever we get painkillers or like anti-inflammatories, they always say,
Yeah.
don't take them that often. I've never really seen the addictive side to it. Never really been that appealing.
Yeah.
I'd always just take them, no more pain, fix
Yeah,
whatever, and done. But obviously some people are a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah, same. I mean, I took it once when I had a surgery, and then I actually didn't like how I felt on it. I think I took Percocet once, and that was the day or two after the surgery,
Yep.
and I felt stupid and high and just not okay.
I always thought that pain is something you should feel, right? Am I wrong?
I mean, yeah,
That's
that's
why
what
I got
heard.
married. I like to feel pain, so you know.
Heyo.
I think just some people. It's the same thing as like some people have an addictive personality and some people don't. I think that's the reason why we give advice, and I mean we base everything on our own perception, and sometimes that doesn't work for somebody else, and that's it. So I mean, like I said, I took kratom, I took it, and assuming it was a real thing, I didn't feel anything, nothing at all.
Maybe you were just already really happy.
That can be, yeah. I'm a happy person.
I always wonder these things when they say like take more of this to get happier. I was like, but what if you're already maximum happiness? Like you're fucking minions skipping through a rainbow, right? I mean, because you can't be more happy than, like, surely.
There are three actually steroids. One is Tranbolon, the other one is Halotest, and the third one is check drops. So those three are considered extremely like causing extreme aggression, and you can become very aggressive person. So somebody said to me once, well, if I'm gonna be on Tren, then I'm probably gonna be an asshole. I said, no, you're gonna be an asshole if you're already an asshole.
I was always under the impression that it just exaggerated personalities.
It's exaggerates
Yeah.
personalities, you
Because you
know.
have to know how to be an asshole in the first
Exactly,
place. The joke
exactly.
can't say, slap a woman in the street. Like that's, like it can just exaggerate what you already know is potentially the
Exactly.
behavior.
I fully agree with it. Like, you know what? I've seen people, taking certain even drugs, and it just basically it exaggerates who you really are, and that's it. That's why if you're an asshole, you're gonna be a bigger asshole.
What
You know,
is
if you're a nice guy, you'll be fine.
what is
Yeah, what is
Austrovia?
Ostrovia?
It's a supplement, I think, from Poland. I actually remember it. I've never taken it, but I remember it. I saw it at the Russian Expo in Moscow a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was pretty popular in your country back in the days.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it at SN Pro maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It was pretty big over there, but I've never tried it.
What's it supposed to do?
The brand is still really popular in Poland. They have like a huge variety of products. They basically have their own line. When back in the days they were like starting just like with one product, and what Simon refers is to their like whey protein concentrate. So Ostrovia was popular for their whey protein, but it tasted like a fucking shit. Yeah.
What was the brand?
It was it was so fucking terrible, and it was sold in a bags or in the buckets,
I saw it in the bags.
Ah,
I saw it
there
in the
we go.
bags. Yeah.
bro. And I remember the times of the buckets when people were like buying this shit because it was like straight from the cows, basically. No sweeteners, nothing like that. Just
You know
like
what? If you
pure,
want,
just
if
like
you
a
want,
pure fucking way.
yeah, man.
You
If
had
you want
this,
some cold hard muscle, you drink
yeah,
that
and
shit straight from the
I
cows.
remember, I remember then after their unflavored version, they came out with like three basic flavors. So it was like vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And I remember the strawberry was just like just, it wasn't that good at all. It was just like a mess, and it was like giving you so much gas after like just one shake. It was
I
terrible. It
I
was.
remember when I was in Russia at SN Pro, and I got to taste like different things, and I fucked myself up. My stomach was a complete fucking mess. All the supplements were either tasted horrible or just funky. So I remember there was one Russian company. The owner absolutely fucking hated me because they let me try an amino product. I think it was like some kind of a BCA, and he goes to me, he says, when you try this, it was liquid. It was liquid. It was like a container, and it had like how they sell in United States the carnitine product. It was a carnitine product. Sorry, so like a liquid carnitine, right? So it had like 20 servings or something like that. And he goes to me, he says, "This is the best flavor you've ever tried," and it was a pineapple flavor. And honestly, it was the best flavor I have ever tried. Nobody came close. I tried it, and it was like yellow. It looked, after I opened it, it looked yellow, exactly like pineapple. It tasted like pineapple. It was absolutely amazing. 2, 3 days later, the pineapple, the fucking changed color. Instead of yellow, it looked like dirt, and it was disgusting. So out of like 20 or 30 servings, the first one or two were great, and then it changed. It changed completely after opening it. I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this?" So they asked me about, and his distributor was a friend of mine. He asked me, "What did you think about it?" I was like, "It fucking changed color and taste after 2 servings." So he told the guy, and the guy was absolutely pissed with me that I said it, but it was true.
There's the Ostrovia protein powder.
Good old memories.
Free
And
sample.
now, and bro, now if you're gonna go to their site, then you're gonna see the completely new Ostrovia. They have like a completely different line.
It's not a bad
Bro,
design. It's not. It doesn't look bad.
I mean,
Does anybody
was
have a
back-
link to the site? Because I typed in Ostrovia supplements and I didn't get anything.
I
I got stuff about test boosters.
I will send you the link. Hold on.
Has anybody had Tim Hortons before?
That's Canadian coffee.
So they specialize in coffee.
Yeah, it's like a Starbucks, but in Canada, and not as good from what I understand. I've never had it, but then
So
I
they
think Starbucks
opened-
is overrated. So
They opened a Tim Hortons here in Manchester last week, and I was having a cheat meal, and I was like, you know what? And they had big balloons up, and it was. I wanted to have Pizza Hut, but Tim Hortons, and everyone was lining up, and I was like, fuck it, let's give this a try. And I didn't know what they were, but much to our conversation before, it was very promoted as Canadian, so I was like, maybe this is like the Canadian McDonald's, right? Maybe this is. I didn't look it up. I should have looked it up.
yeah,
But they sold donuts as if that was kind of their specialty. And then they sold pancakes, burgers, fries, everything. It was ridiculous. I have never been so disappointed in a fast food in my entire life. My fat ass is eating a lot of damn calories. And when you pay such a cheap price, you expect it could disappoint, but come on, even the bad Big Mac's going to taste amazing.
right.
Everything I had, and I bought pretty much one of everything I had. I bought their hot dog because they sold a hot dog, their chicken pieces, their beef burger, their chicken burger, their pancakes. I bought all of it, and it was all dry as hell. And I didn't understand. I thought maybe if one thing was dry, I would have thought maybe someone fucked up.
Yeah,
Then I started thinking, maybe Canadians just eat, like, is this what they like? Did they just like dry meat? Did I miss something? Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe this is kind of what they do up there. I don't know. I was just curious if anyone had it, but you said
did it come
they
with a
specialize
side
in-
of maple syrup so you can drizzle it on?
Dude, I had some dry shit in my life.
Yeah.
I'm talking sandy beach dry shit. Right, I eat steamed chicken every fucking day. Okay, and my those burgers made my steamed chicken that I just put in the microwave look like the moistest piece of ass in the world. Okay, it was.
Now let me ask you: were there a lot of people in the restaurant?
It just opened.
Oh, it just opened.
So it opened that day. That was, and they had balloons out the front. I'm not gonna fucking say no to balloons. Come on, it's rid of my balloons. And they had a big archway, and they're giving out free mugs. I didn't take a mug because I don't drink coffee, but still, they were giving out free mugs.
You could have taken it and given it to me as a present. Say, here you go, Robert. You could have
When
done
the fuck
that.
am I gonna see you? What do you?
I don't know. At the Apollon seminar in October.
You want me to get a free mug and carry it around for what 3-4 months until I see you? I'm probably
Or
gonna forget.
supply side. We'll be at supply side together.
That's 5 months away.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, we will be at supply side, but no. I'd rather, you know what? I'll go back and I'll see if they get a free mug, and I'll film myself dropping it, and then there you go.
But you'll pay $600 for shipping for Zoa energy drinks, but you won't carry a free mug that takes up
It was
almost no
Mountain Dew.
space.
It was Mountain Dew Energy and Zoa, and yeah, because the price that I would, you know how much it is in overage charges when you go to the airport.
No.
It's ridiculous. Just so you know, it's ridiculous. We flew the other weekend, and then there was someone at Am I a coffee lover? No, I don't drink coffee at all. I thought
Something's
we discussed
wrong
this.
with him. He doesn't drink coffee.
No, I'm good. I'm good. But no, we were at the airport the other day, and I was flying EasyJet or Ryanair, whichever one it is, whichever was. They're all cheap airlines, and they make you put your backpack in this little compartment to make sure it's within the certain size.
Yeah.
The amount of people that were like an inch over, and then take them to the till. I was like, and this was at the counter by the plane. That was whack. But kudos to them.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a text message for you, Shane, from Kay. Apparently, she's listening to this. So she said, when you get here, she has a lot of mugs at her place. You can give one of them to Robert as a gift.
Oh, there you go. You know what? I'll find a mug. Now that you've requested a mug, I am going to hunt one down, and it's going to say something absolutely stupid on it. I don't know what.
World's
but I'm
greatest
gonna-
dad? Yeah.
No.
Hey, we're gonna find something in Poland because we have like tons of that kind of shit here.
Yeah, you're gonna get something that I don't even understand. I'm gonna be walking around thinking it's something good, and it's gonna say this guy's an asshole or something like that. That's probably what's gonna say.
Lucas is taking every
It's a
opportunity. Lucas is taking every opportunity to be like, "Yeah, we got something in Poland.
Yeah.
Just come to Poland, Shane." I haven't booked my flights to Poland, but we haven't booked our next few trips for Europe yet.
There you go. All right. Last call from any comments or questions from the peanut gallery. If not, then we will.
There was somebody asked me about the latest formula from Jim Stepani, a pre-workout. I think Shane posted it maybe a week ago or something like that.
The pre-gym X?
Yeah, they asked me to discuss it on the podcast. I forgot about it.
I thought we talked about that
Yeah, we talked about that like.
I don't know. Was there anything new? Because I got a message. It's a new one that you posted.
Before we get to I'm pulling that up, Lukasz just sent me the link for the new Ostrovit. Simon requested that we share that real quick. So I'll show this, and then we can move to the next one.
Oh,
We'll
damn,
go back to
is
the,
this it?
Yeah, that's how it looks now.
So
They got
can you explain the difference? Because I know this brand. I've seen this brand before.
Yeah, Ostrovit, yeah.
What's the diff? Why do they change the spelling?
No, it was always called this. I think it was always called this, no?
No. Back in the days, it was Ostrovia.
I remember Ostrovit probably for the past like 7 years, at least.
Yeah, because Ostrovia had only one product. It was only a whey protein concentrate. It didn't have anything else.
They wanted to just separate from that unflavored.
Yeah,
extreme fat burning shot.
Yeah, and they decided they got everything. They seriously got every product from like functional foods up to like standalone supplements and so on. So they are really popular in Poland, and they're
pretty big, right?
Yeah, they're doing a really good job in Poland.
They've got a big lineup here.
They also have a massive distribution around Europe, and not only in Europe. So yeah.
Prometeus doesn't carry them, of course. No,
we don't carry them just because it would be like a conflict of interest because they have their own distribution. So if we would pick them up, it would be just like we wouldn't be able to sell them in many countries. So that's just like pointless, basically.
Okay. But Prometeus does carry what is it? Olympus? No, what the fuck? Olymp, yeah, Olympus, yeah, Olymp.
No. We don't carry Olymp as well, just because they have also their own strict regulations, so they are going with their own policies and so on.
And Olymp is the biggest one in Poland, right?
Olymp, yeah, they are like Shane's other facility, so it's massive, and they're growing from year to year, basically.
I'm going to see my proteins facility on Monday.
Oh, that'll be cool. That's going to be massive.
Cool.
They were telling me because when we drove to Applied Nutrition, we saw what looked like an Amazon facility on the way, and I was like, "Holy shit, these guys are here!" So apparently they have quite a few, but the one we're going to, I don't really know what this part is, but they have a marketing building which is separate from their fulfillment and production. But I'm going somewhere that they're touring me for 6 hours, I believe, or 4 hours.
Mm.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a new pre-workout from Jim.
So maybe
it's just the same pre-gym.
Maybe the person just didn't see us discussing it before. I mean, I don't know.
Is it that one, Robbie?
Because this came out in March, didn't it?
Yeah, it says 2
Yeah,
months ago.
this is it. This is the one I got. Yeah, so this is we talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to discuss. I mean, again,
it's a more intense version of pre-gym. Everything is dosed pretty well. I don't really see the need to put BCAAs in a pre-workout, but that's kind of been one of Jim's hallmarks, and so he's still sticking to that.
I still think it was pretty cool because initially I wasn't even sure if this was going to be sort of a sequel or a replacement. So I like it how they kept this as a alternative.
Yeah.
Because with the build-up saying it's been 8 years and so on, I thought that this was going to replace it, but I thought it was pretty cool for them to offer this as a just yeah,
Yeah, an
20
ultra
bucks
premium
extra.
version.
The theanine in his pre-workout, I do understand. I mean, I kind of expected it, but did we talk about Tichrine 25 milligram? I mean, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised we didn't. I didn't. Doesn't come that we discussed this because this is a huge surprise to me. I mean, 25 milligram from Jim Stepani on a Tichrine. I mean, there is no way I can find justification for this, even if I wanted to. This maybe even hits me more than BCA.
Yeah, the only thing that's weird about teacrine, I mean, they've done a study where they put the three of them together, so caffeine, dynamine, and teacrine, but the teacrine was dosed at like 50 milligrams, and then I think the dynamine was at 100, and caffeine was at 125 or 150, something along those lines. So I'd say even like the bottom threshold for teacrine should probably be 50 milligrams. You got to remember, teacrine's got that bell curve, that inverted U shape, to where you go too low, it's going to make you feel tired. You go way too high, it's going to make you feel tired. And I think 25 milligrams is kind of in that spot where it could make you feel a little tired. But in combination with caffeine and dynamine, I don't know. I don't like using it that low. I don't
It
want to see
doesn't
it dosed
seem.
that low
So I
personally.
don't know if you've seen, how Compound did this thing.
I can't see what you're showing. Let me hop over. Yeah,
It's
the
on
bright
site.
energy.
Yeah, it's their sort of showcase product. I think they're doing a few others. That is very similar to. It's got 150 caffeine,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other, but it's in like a blend. So 300, 150 of its caffeine. So then the 150 is left for the dynamine and teacrine.
Right.
I wouldn't. I mean, if I really like this, and I would think the balance is much similar to that, is it not? Because if this would have 100 dynamine and maybe 50 teacrine.
Yeah, because you said it's a 300 milligram blend and 150 is caffeine.
So and the teacrine was the lesser of the ingredients.
Yeah, so it's probably 150 caffeine, 100 dynamine, and 50 teacrine, which is the same amounts used in that study that they are using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they played off that with this and just put the teacrine a little lower.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. We reviewed this. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess let's speak to
it
that.
looks
If you
like a-
use it, Shane, give
It
your
looks like a
give
good pre-workout.
a recap of it.
It's not like a super hard. It's to me because someone commented on Instagram and I said it was really cool because I tried pre-gym when it came out 8 years ago. To be able to try this, and I have used pre-gym a little bit since then, and it's the formulas remain the same. You get kind of what you'd expect, to be honest. It's not as their focus has never been. Jim's focus has never been high stims. He came out with pre-gym when it was concentrated stimulants everywhere.
Right.
And so his goal was was more of that muscle building performance pre-workout, not something that's going to get you high. It's just going to keep you performing intensely. And the pre-gym did that, and the pre-gym mix is just kind of a step up.
Yeah.
Which I think is needed because obviously the pre-workout category has come many leaps and bounds since the original. And he kind of does. It's not necessarily, it's a version that takes that original approach of better performance, better endurance, better stamina, and the pumps are pretty damn good in this. But the energy and focus is very much the same as the original. It lasts a little bit longer, but it's that performance aspect where every time I used it, I was doing a lot more max sets than I would usually throw in another top set, another exercise, and it just kept me going. And that's kind of what you get with these performance pre-workouts that don't rely too much on stims. But it is worth noting that even pre-Gym X, they increased a lot of dosages from the original, but they kept the caffeine amount exactly the same. So it's the same caffeine, which I think further proves the point that he's not really trying to go for a hard-hitting energy. He's focused more on strength, performance, the muscle building side, hence the aminos, hence the creatine, but the pumps were impressive. I will say that stood out quite a bit.
Well, yeah, you got betaine, taurine, citrulline, and nitrates in there. So plus the pine bark, so you're kind of getting 5 different ingredients all contributing towards more.
But like I said, if you are a fan of the original, then this is kind of because there's not many pre-workouts out there that have that balance that pre-gym has. So if you like that, this is a nice extreme or a nice step up.
Yeah.
I always liked his line. I mean, to be honest with you, like I'm maybe not a diehard fan, but I always liked his line. I thought it was exactly what it's supposed to be, and exactly you represented him very well. And I thought, I tried 2 or 3 of his protein flavors, and I liked them all. I thought they were very good as well. And I just think that, I think that he knows his market, and he knows his market very well, and he targets that market, and he brings, what he's supposed to do. I mean, I like that he actually stuck to his guns, and
I thought it was pretty cool.
I think that, I think he did good.
I had a feeling he was going to keep the BCAs.
Yeah, I was hoping he would ditch those.
See, because it would just be like if Apollon did a hooligan that had 300 milligrams of caffeine instead of 6, all that's going to say is, okay, so the other ones were wrong, right?
Yeah.
Jim's not going to do that, and he fully supports it. It's not like he hides his support for the BCAs. We've talked about a lot. So for him to take it out, that would then be like, well, is there something wrong with the BCAs?
Right.
So I knew he was going to keep it.
Yeah.
And I was hoping he was going to keep it, because it is very cool to see someone do something that's different, and he's got reason to do it, and he highlights that. But I just thought it was cool that he stuck with it.
Yeah.
And
even when people said, "You still keeping it in there?" He don't give a shit.
but you know what? It's funny because so many experts, idiots, had such a huge problem with the BCA in a formula. They were like hammering him BCA, 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 BCA. I am, I'm also like part of that crew that thinks that BCA is unnecessary when it comes to pre-workouts. But you know what? You have the pre-workout. Keep in mind, I'm not saying supplement industry. I'm saying pre-workout industry, because it's like an industry on its own right now.
Yeah.
It's so massive. But the pre-workout industry is so fucking huge. And why would you have a problem? I'm saying it's not necessary, but I don't have a problem with BCAs in the pre-workout, because essentially it doesn't harm the product. It doesn't do anything negative. It's not going to take away from productivity. It's not going to take away from pump, energy, focus. The main concepts of pre-workout and what it's supposed to be. While at the same time, you have so many pre-workouts on the market having so much crap in them that literally should not be in them, or lacking things that they should have in their pre-workouts, and that is not discussed. So we're discussing the most is flavor, and that's about, and how beautiful the container is. And then everybody, the experts, specifically industry experts, everybody started hammering on BCAs in Jim Stoppani. And I understand Jim Stoppani is not the most liked person in the industry. A lot of it stems from pure jealousy, let's be honest, because the guy is absolutely killing it. I'm not a big fan of Jim Stoppani myself, but I am honest enough to recognize that the guy is super successful. I mean, he's absolutely killing it and laughing all the way to the bank. He's doing phenomenal, and his products, for most part, are probably among the better ones on the market. That's true, So it's a good product. BCAs, yeah, unnecessary, but also I'll give him that. Like Shane said, he stuck to his fucking guns and he kept it in there. Good for him.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is there's I think 2 animal studies I know for sure that have shown that oral branch chain amino acid intake reduces tyrosine and catecholamine synthesis in the brain. Again, that's in rats. So you could make the plausible connection that it's inhibiting dopamine and the tyrosine, so it's competing in that pre-workout.
We are gym rats, so
exactly. Yeah. So I mean, but that's an animal study. So how much credence or credibility do you put on that one study versus the other? So you can come at it both ways. Whatever. So, all right. Last thing, and then I have to jet. Unfortunately, gentlemen, we're going to meet some people out. We go look up the halfling in about 10 minutes.
You gotta take a shit.
No, we're going to.
It's okay.
We're going to a brewery called Front Yard Brewing, which is nice. It's got a wine place on one side. It's got a brewery on this side. It's got a pizza truck and a burger truck right in the middle. Food truck.
I gotta ask. Every time you go to these places with drinks and stuff,
Yeah.
do they just all serve pizza truck? Is this the same pizza truck? Does he just drive to every place that you're at? Or do
No,
they
it's a
have their own
different.
pizza
It's a
truck?
different little place each time. Sometimes it's the place they only have their own like food truck that their employees
but
run.
do they
Sometimes
all
they
have
contract with
is,
some
like,
of the local.
pizza truck? Is that like the thing that they bring in? It's like we need some food. Get a pizza truck.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's
great.
like a pizza food truck, a burger one. Sometimes they'll have a barbecue food truck or a taco food truck. It's one of those four
I can say
usually.
I've never seen like a pizza truck, dedicated pizza truck in my life.
If you come to Austin, Shane, you go to one of these distilleries with me. I'll take you to
I
the
don't
famous pizza
fucking
truck.
drink, and I'm not gonna go.
They have non-alcoholic stuff. They have water.
So
Why would you go
Shane,
to an alcoholic place to drink non-alcohol?
Shane, next
Pizza
time
my
you
daughter
come
drinks.
to
She drinks water.
next time you come to New Jersey, you're taking a drive to see Robert in Austin,
Fucking driving
Texas.
that far?
You have to check out the pizza truck.
You got it. It's world famous.
I'm pretty
pizza
sure
truck in
we'll
Austin.
pass a fucking 1,000 pizza trucks on the way.
But it's
First one I
not.
see, I was like, oh, job done. We'll go back.
But it's not Austin, Texas.
Exactly.
It's not even this. It's even pointless because they're bringing the truck in, so it's not even their specialty. They're just finding someone who can randomly do a pizza and just bring. And it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's probably great pizza, but surely you can't make pizza as good in a fucking truck than you could in an actual kitchen, right? Don't get me wrong.
Depends on what quality oven they got in there. You don't know.
I mean, if we're hitching, if I'm going off my gut, I can't imagine a truck's gonna make a pizza as good as the three dudes at Domino's who just throw it down the line.
Do you think the three dudes at Domino's have any craft or artisanal experience in crafting a pizza? No, follow the instructions. They have the ladle that perfectly measures out the cheese and
Yeah,
the
but
sauce.
who wrote the instructions? Fucking genius is what wrote those instructions. And how fast are they gonna make my pizza? Like, fucking 5 minutes.
There you go. You can't argue with convenience in Speed and Shane's world. You can't.
Good things don't take time in the food world, okay? Let's just leave it at that. Okay?
Okay.
Actually, taking shots during the 100th episodes is not a bad idea. It's just the only problem is Shane is not drinking, and neither am I.
Yeah, I'm drunk.
Something special for the 100th episode. I don't know. That's next week. We got to figure out something.
When's the... Oh, fuck, next week's the 100?
It is.
Okay. I should be there.
There we go.
Just so you know, I'm going to be in Cyprus.
Okay. I'll be in New
No,
Orleans, so that works.
I'm an hour ahead of Lukasz.
I'm gonna be in Virginia. Shit.
Okay. All right, well, it'll be fun.
Because you're one ahead of me, right, Lukasz?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cyprus is 2, so...
Yeah. Well, we'll figure out something. And if not, we'll do it for 101 when we're all back in our normal spots. We'll make it special. Thank you all for tuning in as always. We appreciate it. You got a comment, suggestion,
Wait,
gripe
did I miss
for a future
Shrita? Has he
episode?
been on?
Make sure to post in the comment section or hit one of us at our preferred points of contact. Make sure to turn on notifications and sign up for the Stack 3D newsletter.
He's coming. Just give him time. He's coming.
And leave a review for Shane's podcast. And your boy's not here today to back you up. Shane.
Shrita, I looked at the comments. He wasn't even
He's not
here
even
before.
there. He's not even hanging out today.
He's in Cyprus.
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing, Shrita?
He's hiking on a mountain. And if you're looking for a big, fat, sweet discount, use code FINALSCOOP at ApollonNutrition.com. And if you like what we're doing here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that happy horse shit.
Slow it down.
And we will
Slow it
catch
down.
you all
He's
He is
coming.
in Cyprus.
on the final.
You know what? He's done pretty good for the 99
Like,
episodes.
comment, and subscribe to Stack 3D.
Yes. See you all.
Oh, yeah.
Knuckleheads next time.
Shane is almost heartbroken. Like I can.
I'll
see
let
that
this
was-
one go. I'll let this one. Like I got one fucking fan on here, okay, and I appreciate when he
Robbie,
shows up.